Hello again. I am Bane and I'm on an adventure. I am super excited this morning. I haven't been out and about in well over a month. I had surgery on my deviated septum and my nasal cavities, and it's a lot rougher than I expected. Not that it was horrid in itself, but the recoup time, like being able to breathe, it took a while. So the doc gave me the thumbs up to do whatever I want, and this is what I want to do. I am in Pulaski, Virginia, headed towards the New River State Park Trail, and from Pulaski you can take the Dora Trail over to the New River Trail, and that's what I'm doing currently. So the city park here closes at night, and part of the Dora Trail is on that, and I may or may not have slept there in my hammock, and then I didn't realize it, but I was literally 30 feet, 40 feet from the train, from the railroad. 3 trains went by last night, and that sucked. Anyways, on to the New River State Park Trail. The New River State Park Trail is listed at 57.5 miles long. It is a rail trail. I think originally ran by the Norfolk and Western Line rail trail, or Western Line train company. My memory sucks. I'm writing this stuff down and still not keeping up with it. I thought Pulaski looked cool, so I stopped down in Pulaski and started here. There is some veteran memorials which are neat, and if you read, there is a World War I memorial, and originally the World War I memorial had a World War I cannon. Well, during World War II, they gave up the cannon for scrap metal for the war efforts in World War II. And I thought that's really cool. And I'm glad they had a monument stating that. Anyways, that's enough blabbing for a second. Follow along. I am officially at the trailhead for the New River State Park Trail. The junction for the Dora Trail connects here about 3/10 of a mile. So I haven't done anything at all in about 6 weeks. I started back in the gym this week, but I don't really do cardio in the gym. It's all lifting. My intention for this trip, or the plan, I'm going to get to one end of the trail and then turn around. So the trail's listed at 57.5 miles. There is a fork in the trail that goes over to Fries, Virginia, and that's 5 miles from the trail to Fries, 10 there and back. And then the trail itself heads down to Galax, Virginia. So what I want to do is get the fries and back to the trail, make it to Galax, and then head back and find a place to camp. I'm just rolling the dice as to whether or not I can even do this. It'll probably be a long day. It's pretty early. I got started at 6:30 in the morning, and I might have slept 2 hours, maybe 3, on and off. I have a new camera mounted to my bike. It's the DJI Action 4. It's on my handlebars, and it's going to stay on my handlebars. I'm about to cross my first bridge. Please dismount and lead horse. Horses are allowed on this trail. For those that aren't terribly familiar with trail etiquette, generally horses have right-of-way. So you kind of want to stop and let them go by if you see any. And I'll be honest, if you come up behind one and you're going faster than them, I don't know what you're supposed to do. But I don't normally see horses out and about. This bridge just goes over the road. On the Dora Trail, you actually come up underneath it. Nothing spectacular. But there's supposed to be some cool bridges, a couple of tunnels, and adventure awaits. For those of you just finding my channel, what y'all need to know is that this is some quality content. Got a railroad warning behind me. Anyways, like and subscribe if you haven't, and follow along. This is pretty cool. There's a looking glass, and when you look through it, you're supposed to look through all those pieces of art and I think see a train, but I didn't see it. But I can piece it together, and that's what I think. Neat little find on the trail. I like stuff like that. Just past mile marker 4-ish. Taper around mile marker 6. Moving along. It's pretty humid. Predator alert. It's a bunny. Leaving Draper now at mile marker 6 on the new River State Trail. They have a pit potty and running water. There's parking here. There's a restaurant right off of the trail. I didn't stop and check it out. I'm cheap. Also, parking is $7 a day. Now, that's on the state trail in these parking areas. They have a little envelope you fill out, or you can scan their bar and pay it online. I didn't do it on purpose, but I parked in town in Pulaski and then biked to the trail, so there ain't no fee. I parked at the trailhead for the Dora Junction Bridge. Over some farmland. I'm gonna stop and get this shot. about 10:30. Some caffeine and sodium. I am trying to burn off some excess weight from sitting around not doing anything while recouping. And the best way to lose weight is to not eat carbs. I am going to munch down an avocado. I got some pork rinds I'm going to eat a few of, and some beef jerky. I don't really want to get into dieting. If you have questions, I might be able to answer them. I'm not an expert, but I know a little something something. I just passed mile marker 16 and I'm biking along the river now. So, Foster Falls, I think it's mile 420. Foster Falls, I think it's mile 24. So it's coming up, and I believe that's where the shot tower is at. The shot tower is where they used to make ammunition for the war. But I think it's closed today, and there's a bypass around something in that area because the trail's closed too. So I'm just winging it like I normally do. On we go. Follow along, like and subscribe to this quality content. Cave. Check out the rock formation, the angle. It's really cool. Now I don't know about here in Virginia, but I know in Kentucky and West Virginia they put up these bars, obviously to keep people from going in the cave, but it's to stop the spread of a bat disease and not necessarily for your safety. But it could be for your safety, what do I know? The trail gets considerably better once you pass mile marker 19. And I'm going to assume that's because there's more maintenance on the trail as you get closer to Foster Falls. I didn't really research it. But Foster Falls looks like the touristy area with things to do. So after hitting mile 19, you come along some nice crushed stone. I don't know if you know who Brian is from Ride Along Adventures. We're going to see if he's watching. He is a big fan of the sound of wheels on crushed stone. So we're going to record some and toss it into the video and see if he notices this. You better see it. Hello. Awesome spot. What a beautiful day. I think I'm showing about 75 degrees right now. It's humid. It's going to get hotter probably. But it's nice. Make for some quality content. Foster Falls gets its name from the falls in the river. Kinda neat. I tried to eat, couldn't really get it down. I don't know if I've just eaten too much, or is it the heat, or is this too dry? I don't even think I ate half of it. It's neat. They got the train station there, and they got a great caboose. I do like a nice caboose. Looks like you can kayak there, and I saw some people tubing down the river. I am at the trails closed section. No trespassing, they say. Wonder how far up that is. The Jackson Ferry Shot Tower. Apparently this was the first tower in the United States to produce shot. It made fouling shot. That's ammunition for shotguns. It is a long day. I am passing Buck Dam now, which is at mile 34. I'm showing 39 miles. There was a couple miles prior to hitting the state park trail. I don't know. So mile marker 34. The Freeze Junction, where the trail cuts off. To the right you go to Freeze, to the left you go to Galax, I think. Is at mile marker 40. So I got 6 miles to get to the junction. And then I think Galax is 11 or 12 miles away. Wow. You're gonna have to see this. Look at that. I don't know if it's gonna show up in this. I'm out of time and don't want to drag the drone back out. I should fly the drone up that cliff, try to get a look closer, but I am running short on time and I'm tired. There's supposed to be a campground around mile marker 40. All right, I'm passing mile marker 35 now. So about 5 miles to the freeze junction. What I'd like to do is get to Galax this evening and then make it back to the campground that's around mile marker 40. And then tomorrow I could hit freeze and head back to Alaska. But that's still about 30 miles left for the day, give or take. I don't know. And it's already past 4 o'clock. Well, if you're still watching, might as well keep on watching and see if I get there. On we go. Well, originally my intention was to hit freeze and then come back to the junction and ride to Galax and then come back to the junction. I knew it was lofty when I got started, and I realized as the day went that probably wasn't going to happen. So then I thought, well, I'll go to Galax and come back and then hit freeze tomorrow. And now I'm not sure that's feasible. It is a little after 5. I'm coming up on the junction soon, but getting to Galax, probably another 12 miles, I think, from the junction. And then it'd be 12 miles back. I thought there was water down here at the junction, but there's not. So I'd have to pack water all the way back. Possible I could hit Galax and then just camp on this side of Galax. I don't know. At this point, I'm thinking hit freeze, which is 5 miles from the spot up here. Now I'm thinking hit freeze, get water there, and then come back to this campsite. And that'd be 5 miles. Apparently, I missed some water spots. I don't know if I had to hop off the trail to find them, but I missed a few water spots, and I'm basically down to the last few drinks of water. I just stopped, had a sugary snack, or at least a carby snack. About to throw in some earbuds, get some motivation going, because I am gassed. You know, I stopped, taking a break. I saw 2 birds flying around, and I thought one of them was a bald eagle. And I'm like, you know what? If that's a bald eagle, I'm gonna quit being a sissy. And I'm gonna make this trip, even if I gotta bike back in the dark. And then as I watched, it was 2 bald eagles, and they was fighting. I couldn't see them very well, but I saw them well enough to know they was bald eagles. And I'm still being a sissy. I don't know. We can get up here to the junction and see what the sign says. I'm assuming there's a sign at the junction listing the miles. And I've passed a few spots right here close by where I can set up my hammock. And since there's no water at the campsite anyways, that's fine and dandy. Oh, I am at the junction. Let's see what it says. Supposed to be 12 miles to get to Galax. If I have to, I'll stop in Galax. So 12 miles to Galax, that's what we're doing. It is 5:19. Even if I creep into Galax, should be there by 7:30. Oh man, mile and a half from Galax, and I have a flat. I am in Galax. There's a CVS right off the trail. We got a gallon of water and some Gatorade. And it is 7:42, and I think sunset is at 7:30. So I ain't messing around in Galax, but I can't pass up a nice caboose like this. I like a nice caboose. All right. Like I said, I made it into Galax, I don't know, Galax, Virginia, the southern end of the New River State Gorge Park, New River State Park, I don't know. It's the south end of the trail, but the river actually flows north. So I believe I've been on an incline all day, basically. Certainly from the fork in the road, it's felt like a lot of incline. So I sucked it up, headed towards Galax, got a flat tire, fixed a flat tire. I was hoping to be in and out of Galax by 7. I'm leaving Galax now at 7:46. I saw a nice campsite down right before I got to the fork, and I'm gonna try to go get it. I wanted to get footage of the campsites. So far I have failed. So, might not video much on the way to camp, because I'm in a hurry. There's bears out here. I keep seeing bear warnings. There's bear cans everywhere. That's bear trash cans. On I go. Follow along. Good morning. My booty hurts. I'm just getting started. Took me an hour this morning from waking up to pack, eat, and get on the bike. Seems like a long time. It really doesn't take that long to throw my hammock back in my bags. Yesterday I hit almost 70 miles. It was like 69.85 or something. I made it back. I made it out to Galax and back. And then I found my way to, I think, the Double Shoals campground. And now I am on my way to Fries, Virginia, or Fries. The local says Fries. I'm on my way to Fries, and then I'll turn around and head back to Pulaski. I think I did a lot of elevation gain yesterday. I know somewhere down towards Pulaski, I know I went down some pretty good grades yesterday, which means I have to go up those. But I feel like the majority of it was up yesterday. Anyways, didn't care for the campground. Mainly, I had to use the food hanging poles to hang my hammock. There's no trees. What trees there are really big and too close together. I actually passed the spot on the way to the fork in the road that looked real nice, but I didn't remember how far back it was. Anyways, on we go. Fries, Virginia. There ain't a lot going on there. Someone told me yesterday that Fries was really awesome and that they had the trail through town. It's really neat. I ain't sure she gets out much. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. I didn't ride all over town. I tried to fly the drone around to take a peek. It was pretty foggy. They had what looked like would have been nice restrooms, but they were locked up, so I didn't get to use them. There was a caboose, but it was, I don't know, like an ice cream stand or something. Altered caboose. I don't like my cabooses altered. Hello. I like my cabooses natural. Restored is good. In great shape is good. Oh man. Well, I have ridden the entire trail, hit both forks. is listed as 57.5 miles. That's the length of the trail itself. And that counts both directions when you hit the fork in the road. So from Pulaski to Galix is around 51 miles, 52 miles. And then the fork to Freeze is about another 5 miles. So it's not 57.5 from one end to the other. That counts both sections after the fork. The fork in the trail is mile marker 40-ish. It's about 5 miles back to it. And then once I get to the other side of the trail, the end, another 3.5 miles or so to get back to Pulaski where I parked at. I'm pretty sure most of the way back is losing elevation. Not a lot, but 1% down is a couple miles an hour quicker than 1% up. Probably, what do I know? If you're still watching, then you know this is quality content and you should like and subscribe. If I saw you out here on the trail, gave you one of my little cards, you should say hello. I did have a little service in Freeze, so I checked some messages. I'm gonna give a shout out to Rhonda. I stopped on the trail yesterday after realizing I lost my Crocs again. And I was looking through my video trying to see how far back I'd lost them. And a couple stopped and they had just happened to have seen my Crocs. It was about 20 miles back. Well, Rhonda shot me a message. They found my Crocs on the way back and they put them by my car. And that's awesome. And then she messaged me, let me know. Thanks, Rhonda. We need more people like you. I'm putting Rhonda in the SNG Hall of Fame. Super nice gal. I'm taking over, Brian. That's my list. New head cam view. Phone mount, camera mount, which is on my forehead. Light, computer, mirror, little bags. They're bottle bags, but I use them for cameras. People. Hello. The New River. Quality content. Like and subscribe. Just left Foster Falls. Stopped there for a break. Just past mile marker 23. So I got 23 miles left on the New River State Trail. And then I bounce over to the spur that goes over to Pulaski. And if I recall, it's about 3.5 miles. So far, it's basically been a drop in elevation most of the way. So I'm making decent time. I'm pretty tired. I broke down and had an ice cream cup at Foster Falls. I figure some sugar might help kickstart me, get me going. I'm pretty tired. I'm lucky I went up the elevation yesterday and not have to do it the second day. Though there is some elevation gain coming when I get towards Pulaski. I don't remember where it's at, but I do remember coming down some pretty good grades this direction. Like and subscribe and follow along. On we go. Ah! Whee! Well, that is it for this adventure, other than me driving home. Let's see. So yesterday, I pushed out 70 miles. Almost all of it was elevation gain. Most of it's not very steep, like maybe a 1% grade. But you definitely notice it when you turn around and you come back. So today I cleared 50 miles and most of it was losing elevation. On the way back down the river, I think it's around mile 9. You start climbing the hill. You leave the river, you leave the New River, you start climbing the hill. It's not terribly steep. I don't know what the grade is, but it's steep. And you go from like mile 9 to mile 6 or 5 or 6 climbing. Nothing horrible, but not bad. Let's see. So I thought from the junction at mile marker 40 heading towards Galix, my original thought was that wouldn't be as cool because you leave the river headed towards Galix. But I don't remember what the creek's called, but instead of following the river, you follow a creek to Galix, and it's gorgeous. There's a really cool waterfall on it as well. Maybe more than one, but I saw one. I kind of messed up. Going to Galix, it was already late and I was pretty tired. It was a 14-hour day. I started around 7 and it was 9 o'clock before I got to camp. So on the way to Gaelics, I didn't film a whole lot. I just pushed out the miles, got to town, got some water, and then turned around and headed to camp. And it was well after dark by the time I got to camp. I camped at the Double Shoals campground, I believe it's called. It's okay. I mean, it's a campground. By the way, campground $17 a night, and parking $7 a day. They're real serious about it too. Every parking area has one of those little hoses that go across it so they can keep track of how many people's coming and going. Today I woke up and I made my way from basically the junction at mile marker 40. The campsite's just past it. I got up to Freeze, Virginia, the end of the other section, and then made it back, obviously. So it's listed as 57.5 miles, and that's basically from Pulaski to both ends of the trail. So if you just go to Gaelics, you're not doing all of it. So the whole trail is a state park at 57.5 miles, and that's both sections, going to Gaelics and going to Freeze. Obviously, if you're doing both and turning around, you're doing it twice. I recorded right at about 120 miles. At the end of the day, my little recorder, I probably hit pause or something, so I missed some miles on it, but it's 120 miles. Let me think. I'm tired and I can't think of anything. I broke down and I had some ice cream at Foster Falls. I didn't eat lunch today. I mean, I didn't eat the peanut butter and honey wrap like I would normally. And I didn't eat dinner last night either. I was too tired. But I felt okay today anyways. That is it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, like and subscribe, and I'll try to answer when I get the chance. Oh, my next adventure, well, my big adventure coming up is going to be the C&O Canal and the Gap Trail. Plan on doing that the last week of August, first week of September. I would like to do something before then. I was thinking maybe the Virginia Creeper Trail. I know there's some elevation gain on the Gap Trail, headed east to west, and I thought maybe I'd hit the Creeper Trail and knock out the elevation there, because it's a rail trail, but it's got some serious elevation. I don't know. I also want to go to Cades Cove in the Smokies and bike around Cades Cove. I want to see some dang bears. I don't want a bear encounter, but I want to see some bears. There's a difference. Alright, that is it. Coming up on this dang toll on 77 northbound. Questions, feel free to ask. Suggestions, I'm open to them. Oh yeah, and yeah, that's it. I'm done. Until next time, follow along. This is quality content